Friday night footy. The Panthers hoping to go 2-0. Kenny for Cleary for Cole. For Alamotti with a dummy and a simple missed tackle from Siwa Wong. It's taken them less than 3 minutes to score. Smith to Crichton, to Smith to Nwangani to Wase. The Roosters capitalise on a rare error for Penrith. And it came Cole to finish it off. Watson! Connor Watson scored. The Roosters lead the game. Henry with power. Oh, how have they stopped him from at least getting it on the line? That's a brilliant tackle. Connor Watson and Blake Steep. Edwards, Cole, throws it on the boot and pursues his own kick, throws the hand out.
Are you not onside of the kick?
What does the referee say? Try!
Not much the Roosters could have done about that. They all marked up, they all had their man, and Brian To'o just comes up with a miracle play.
Nice ball to Rugby to Wase for Tupou, the flying put down. Brilliant work. Try number 165 in his glittering career.
Not right. Keep moving.
Cleary kicks towards the post. Does it hit the upright? Oh, they get up high and take the catch. Who's that above the packets? It's Liam Henry.
Good shit though.
Marky Mark.
Yeah, Marky Mark. That side, it's going to build. Big danger there.
And there's danger right now. They've gone through. Tedesco. Connor Watson gives the Roosters the front straight out of half-time. Wants a fast play the ball. Kenny linking in with Cleary, tries to roll through, and Edwards is going to force the ball and score a try.
There's some contact on him before as well.
Yeah, the old firm. Cleary and Edwards have played so much football together.
12 away, tackle 5. Sandon Smith, Chad Townsend, James Tedesco. They've got them shot again. Tupou with a second try. They will not go away.
Well over 100 years.
Rarely have they been dismissed out of hand as a winning chance before tonight. Look at this. They're lined up everywhere. Away to Sandon Smith. They've missed him. Sandon Smith sprints away. It's another Rooster try. Wow. 9 metres away. It's hard to think of a bigger upset in the last several years. Young stretching out. He's got the try. The Roosters have won it.
I know he won it. Pulling away.
Okay, the tackle before that, okay, he's made direct contact to the head with force, okay, on report in the bin.
What's happened here?
Off you go, mate.
I don't know what he's supposed to do there. He can't disappear.
Is that the sin bin?
He can't disappear.
Crikey.
Cleary on for Jack Cole around the corner. Ball's on the ground. Alamotti picks it up. Passes out for Casey McLean. They've got one of them. Stop. They couldn't. They simply couldn't.
The Iceman moves in.
Oh, it's hit the post and bounced back. It's the last. Cleary, Lindsay Smith, Dane Laurie throws it on the boot. Dominic Young gets back there and the ball's gone over the back.
Goal line.
Why did he kick?
Have a look.
An 8-point margin. Gee, if Penrith can score here, they'll be nervous. Dominic Young's got in the way. It's penalty to Penrith. Oh, they can kick the
2
penalty
metres
goal.
offside.
They'll get a full set of 6. Inside the 20. It goes to Smith, then Digo, then Sorensen. If he gets it to McLean, he'll score! He might have got it down!
I don't think he did.
Might have got it in the corner!
I don't think he did. Well done to the Roosters. No one gave him a chance.
It is a win for the ages by a Roosters club that has been written off and thrown in the trash can this week.
How do you assess that one? Really tough performance in the last couple of years, probably.
Yeah, it's hard to Those ones, it's hard to have all the answers, but I guess that's why we all love sport so much. It's just the classic upset. The unbackable favourites against the group of kids, and scored the easy try to start the game. I've seen that a million times, and then credit to the Roosters. They gave it a red hot crack, and in the end were good enough to get the win.
Do you think that's what it is? You come out there, you put that points on early, and you think, this is just going to roll. Considering what they produced last week and where they're at, with some of the guys they had out.
I think it's undoubtedly there's some part of that would be true. I think mostly it's between the years before the game's played where there's enough distraction or whatever, which could have been a number of things, but. I just felt like that's the classic upset and why we all love sport. And unfortunately, we were the ones that brought it to life tonight. But we just have to make sure that in our journey that we put that to good use somewhere.
Can you put it down to anything like Vegas related? Obviously, a big trip going over there.
I guess.
That time off.
Yeah, look, could be any number of factors, to be honest. But it wasn't like we were out of energy by the end of the game, so which I did like. There was something cool about that too. Just this team that never knows when they're beaten, but clearly it was pretty a display that we're certainly not proud of. But again, credit to the Roosters. They're very undermanned and just showed they're why they've been a winning club for so long.
Just on that, Isaiah, obviously you finished very well, but was there any sense of fatigue or anything Vegas related, any carryover from that, do you think?
No, not from Vegas, but I thought credit to them. I just felt like they probably out-competed us for most part of the game. They probably showed that with particularly on their last plays. They just seemed to just come down with catches, and we just didn't have resolve to actually, if the team made a mistake, to actually defend it on the back of it and help him out. So that was disappointing. But just thought we didn't have much control on both sides of the ball. It just felt like they're winning a lot of their contacts and sort of getting in positions to sort of put in attacking kicks and put us under pressure. And then on the other side, I was guilty of it too. Just forcing the ball probably a little bit too sideways for sort of long stretches. So I wouldn't put it down to Vegas. I thought, put credit to them. I thought they played well.
Any update on Dylan? Obviously came off about 20 to go. Do you know what's wrong first?
Yeah, he's had a bit of a groin strain, so I don't know how bad it is. I mean, he could have kept playing, but just the way the game wasn't what we needed at the time. We've got to see a fresh fullback sitting on the bench, so that was why we made that call. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, a bit of a topsy-turvy sort of weird game, but do you sort of almost get used to over the last couple of years having to recalibrate in these early weeks when you lose such gun players year on year? Like, are you almost used to this a little bit with things being a bit weird and wacky this time of year?
I don't know if it's losing players. I think, pretty much every year you'll see swings in performance by lots of teams at the start of the year. You see a good game and then maybe not such a good game. That's fairly normal. But it's not something you'd accept. But I don't know. The last few years in particular, we haven't won a lot of games at the start of the year. I mean, again, there's all these different factors. But at the end of the day, I just thought today we were, just weren't anywhere near good enough. So something that we need to sort out for, heading into next week, clearly.
Does it just in saying that though, does it make it easy to remain calm, like knowing that you have bounced back from, I guess, early months of the season that maybe in the last few years you haven't been happy with and gone on to premierships? Does it make it easy to remain calm now? Yeah,
I mean, that game was lost before we got here, I think. So, for whatever reason, so we never got here thinking we were going to be perfect, and that's never something we talk about. Or even in the first round, we weren't perfect at all. But we just weren't. There's enough players tonight that weren't anywhere near their best, and collectively we just didn't. Yeah, we just didn't play anywhere near what we'd like to. So that should have been. That should be better than what we tossed up tonight.
Just on that final 7 minutes, eerily similar to the Parramatta game last year. What do you put that game presence and and everything else down to, like Nathan takes the penalty down by 14, you execute that set play to score, and then you give yourself that chance at the end with Brian going so close. What is it about this team that most teams down by 14 with 5-6 to go can't win, but Penrith seem to give themselves a chance every time?
Yeah, it's sort of cold comfort. But, yeah, like I said, there's something cool about that too. The boys don't know when they're beaten. Always trying to find a way. Last year, I thought particularly we won different styles of footy games throughout the year. Like tonight's game was nothing like we want. But, the job's to win the game. So at the end there, they were just trying to find whatever way they could to try and, get it done. But it just wasn't happening tonight. I don't know why.
Robbo, got one of the best Roosters wins you've ever seen.
Yeah, feels like it at the moment. A lot's happened obviously in between last game and this game with players being in and out, and the amount of guys I guess under 5 games, and it's really nice when 17 guys have belief in the jersey and have belief in the game plan, and then they go about executing it and they nail it. It's it was really nice to watch. Confidence that they played with was really nice to watch.
How do you instill that confidence in guys, as you said, that haven't played more than 5 games, and after what happened last week, what do you say to them this week to get a performance like that?
Yeah, I think it doesn't come in a week. I think those guys have been training really well throughout the whole pre-season. And then I gave a big rap to the leaders between sort of Teddy, Gussie, Connor and Chad. They led from the front, but they also brought the guys with them and gave them confidence to play. They didn't cap them. They didn't say you're only capable of this. They gave them confidence to play, and you could see the way that those guys led on the field as well. And it's a credit to them.
We've asked about the guys who have left for the past however many years. We're not asking about them anymore.
Aren't you?
No. The young forwards,
Yeah.
Robbo, like how much pride you take out of that, and also someone like Mark Nwangani to us, like, was that his best game in first grade?
Yes, definitely is. Again, he's learning rugby league. I think what's that, game 3, and so from a 15-year-old to game 3, that's and so you can see there's a real creativity to the way that he plays, but then he also had to defend really well out there at different times. So he's only going to get better, which is really good. And you asked about the forwards. We had Nafahu White led really well, to start. He hasn't started many games, but I thought he was outstanding tonight. We've got Taylor Lasalu, who played his second game and started at front row, and that's and Celesi Feketi, for both of them to start. I said Taylor will be on the tools at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, again concreting, and that shows insight into how he goes about his game and his training and his life. So there's future there, there's but we're not sitting around waiting for it. Those guys, we just got to give them opportunity, and they can play like that. So keep coaching and keep believing him, and they'll keep getting better.
Teddy, you've won premierships, Origins, World Cup. Was tonight perhaps the most satisfying win of your career, given what's been said last week?
Yeah, I said that after the game to Freddie. I think I feel like it's the most proudest win. I think obviously after last week with the leaders and experience we had out this week with the young guys who had to play big minutes against a team that's been dominant the last 4 years. So to come out and as Robert said, execute a game plan. It was 17 of us doing our job, working for each other and playing footy. So I'm so proud to captain those boys, and I said after the game, it's probably a proudest win I think I've had with the club.
We spoke a lot about the young kids. Let's talk about someone a little bit older, Daniel Tupou. We were panicking during the match reports if they scored there. I don't want to know what's going on. But how's your reaction when Brian Tottler's going for the corner, a try he scores?
Yeah, he does.
Times out of 100, and Tupes blocks him.
Yeah, I think Tupes has saved a lot in that corner, and Brian scored a lot in that corner, and it's quite funny. It comes down to that play in that corner, Brian has scored many in that corner, but Toops needed to get that job done to finish the game off for us, and he did. So it was a nice way to finish.
Teddy, what was that last 10 minutes like out on the field and now coming hard at you?
Yeah, it was. We made it hard for ourselves. Obviously, that last with the sin bin and then the man down, and we had to do whatever it takes to hold on, and they were throwing everything at us there. I think Dom made a try saver in the corner in the first with the grubber, and then Toops at the end there. We just had to keep scrambling, and it was just pure joy at the end there, getting the win and celebrating with the boys. It was just, I think as I spoke about, we wanted to believe in each other, and we did that, and to put a performance like that against a top side like Penrith, that's going to make our belief bigger and bigger. And I know there was a lot of people doubting us after last week, and no one gave us a shot. So there was plenty of belief inside our four walls, and that's how we played. So we'll keep building off that, and keep getting more wins. Just
on that, James, do you think people have been a bit premature to write your season off? There's been a lot of commentary around that.
Yeah, that's what media does and people do. They're quick to judge. So it's on us, as leaders, to instill that belief in these young boys. And as I said, we showed that belief tonight after that performance. So we've set ourselves up with a performance like that. We have to keep building on that and keep getting better to produce more wins like that.
What do you think the major difference was between last week, like you touched on, and a win like that tonight?
We had a good game plan. I think we just played footy. I think last week we started really well. Obviously we lost Rads, and then Brisbane played some really good footy. But I think our defence, that was something we spoke about. I know we let in a couple of points there, especially at the end. But we just got to keep working hard for each other, and that's probably the main focus for us. Just keep working hard and playing footy and executing our opportunities on the back of it. And I felt like we did that on the edges. We executed our opportunities against a good defensive team, and again, we'll take a lot of confidence out of that.
Trent, do you expect any boys back next week, Victor or Nat or anyone?
I don't think Nat. I think Rad's will be back in, but that's probably just about it. I've got a couple of guys playing tomorrow in reserves, so yeah.
Teddy, Robert mentioned Fahu White earlier. I think he had the most running metres for the side tonight. What's it like playing alongside with him on the field?
Yeah, he's gotten better and better every year. I remember when he came, 3-4 years ago as a young kid, he was really raw. He was obviously very talented, but he had to work hard. Now he's an international front row, and he's leading by example. We obviously had a lot of leaders out tonight, but he's so powerful. If you try to tackle him, he's very hard to tackle. But he's not the only one. Our front row and our middles, these young guys are really powerful athletes. And Fahu led from the front tonight, and we needed that. But he's going to keep getting better and better for sure.
He's got that international experience now. Can you see him take his game to another level this season?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's got international front rowers, Spenny and Lindsay to learn off. But he's only 21, 22. He's still young, and he's going to keep getting better. But yeah, he's definitely got all the attributes to be a dominant front rower, and I know how hard he works as well. So, yeah, really proud of where he's at. I know he's going to keep improving as well.
Well, we had two pretty big upsets tonight. What is it about this competition and that makes it so even and so unpredictable?
Yeah, it's the NRL. It's a beautiful competition. And that's we do see differences between the top teams and the bottom teams, but it's not compared to other competitions. So you've got to be on every weekend. You have to be ready to play. Otherwise, people are going to put points on you, or, you can put points on other teams as well. So, it's just respecting the game. It's such a wonderful competition.